Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless, and the bold and the beautiful. And this is your bold and the beautiful August 25th recap. And yeah, we got to talk about what happened in this episode, especially a little bit of spiciness between Deacon and Sheila. The Forrester celebration continues, and Brooke is not happy, and Donna gives her the tidbits. So we're going to unpack all of this. But before we do, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel to receive all updates. And don't forget to like and share. So we over at Deacon Sharp's place, and he realizes now that there is no wiggling out of this jam. Because, of course, calling the police would just lead to more trouble, since Deacon would go down right along with Sheila. So the last thing Deacon wants, of course, is to go back to the slammer. So it looks like he's going to have Sheila for a roommate for right now. Now, of course, Deacon would be lying if he did not, enjoy Sheila's company in bed. Now, there's definitely a perk, I guess. So Deacon will have he does have more than one reason to relent on becoming roommates. Now, as for Sheila, she thinks that she has a major victory with this, but don't get too comfortable because, hey, we all know that Deacon is definitely going to try to kick Sheila out down the road. But, as much as she is reeling and enjoying her little spicy stay with Deacon at this point, look like it might be temporary. So, yeah, and from what I understand, there is a visitor that's going to pay them a visit while he's out to work, because he has to head over to work. Now, I will say in this moment, she is concerned about her son and how it's impacting him on the fact that he thinks that she's dead now. So now let's go over to the Forrester mansion. The celebration continues, especially this little party being for Steffi and Finn now that they're back together. And of course, Finn's survival is certainly a reason to gather with the family and count their many blessings. And look like Donna has made it home too as well. We also know that Thomas also got Eric's permission to move Douglas in, so that's part of the celebration too. But in Taylor's head, she's still reeling over this whole thing that happened between her and Ridge and Monaco. And I'm like, how many more times are we going to have to see that scene? As much as she can relive it, I don't think the fans want to keep reliving it with her. But, Ridge, of course, Taylor is there. They're all celebrating. There's this whole TRIDGE family unit, the kids, the grandkids. And I mean, everybody's just caught up in the Forrester experience. Now, Lee comes over and look like Taylor and Ridge is not too happy because they still kind of, stuck on this whole thing that Lee did not tell Steffi that, Finn was still alive. But they don't shatter the moment. Finn is just happy of the fact of seeing his mom. And, he's given Lee the side-eye treatment for right now, but they both keep quiet, which they should. They should be happy at this point that they're back together. So now this moment comes up where Donna has this big surprise, and I actually thought she was replacing the picture that they took down that was of Quinn with a picture of herself. Well, as much as I think we thought that, Eric thought that, and probably everybody in that room, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. And you can tell by Steffi's face. And we also saw how Ridge and Taylor and also Thomas was looking like, okay, what is this? She got a photo of herself. Actually, it was a picture of Eric. And I was actually happy to see that. It is his house, just like Donna said, She decided to get a big wall portrait for himself, which I would have never expected that. I thought, sure, this was going to be about her. But as much as they were suspicious of Donna, it actually turned into an awesome moment for, the rest of the family. And I think that picture looks really good of Eric up there. But then, of course, we now have Thomas making a little speech about how great it was to watch both his granddad and his dad over the years. He's become the man he is today because of them. He's become the designer because of them. And now the father because of them. And everybody is just sharing the love at this moment. We even got a mom and daughter moment between Taylor and Steffi. The grandkids are all around and everybody's just having a great time, And then Finn gives another speech about, how he went through a lot to get to this point. But the fact that Steffi was the one that helped him get through this, well, Steffi was the one that put him in this situation. If she wasn't in the alley that night fighting with a sociopath. But anywho, at this point, they're happy that he is back. So I just had to throw that in there because, all this could have been avoidable. But go figure. It's a soap. But it was nice to see everybody happy, loving on each other, kissing on each other. Just a big old TRIDGE unit family reunion because we haven't really seen this on screen for a while. And the closeness between everybody, especially between Ridge and Taylor, somebody else isn't feeling that right now. Is none other than Brooke's sister, Donna. She knows that her sister is still married to Ridge and she's not feeling this whole thing or this dynamic that's going on between Taylor and Ridge. And I mean, they are being very affectionate with each other, which doesn't sit well with Donna. So meanwhile, we're over at the cabin. Brooke is venting about how Taylor is manipulating the situation with Ridge. And, she's obviously taking a strong stance when it comes to Douglas and how, Taylor is working this angle. Of course, we all know that Taylor genuinely believes Douglas belonged with Thomas, but Brooke thinks it's her primary goal, using this situation to win Ridge back. Now, Brooke is complaining about Taylor using Douglas to make that happen. Hope hates that this is such a mess, plus the fact that it could affect her marriage. Hope is worrying that, Thomas squeezing this extra time with Douglas and with this whole family gathering and with Taylor being there, that it's going to cause problems. And of course, we see Brooke saying, no, she's using this situation to get between me and Ridge. And I'll say it again. No, Brooke, you're getting in between this because you're on opposite sides of the fence. Of course, he's going to support his son, even if Taylor wasn't in the mix. And you're supporting your daughter, which is ludicrous. It doesn't make sense. But they figure that Thomas is already going against what they agreed upon. And this leaves Hope deeply concerned. And I'm like, you already knew that this was going to come to an end. Thomas told you that earlier this week. So now this boy is older. He's smart enough to know what's going on. It's time for him to be with his family. Now, coming back over to this conversation with Donna, Donna decides to call her sister to pretty much say, you know what, we're missing you. You the one supposed to be here. Taylor is all up in the mix, canoodling with your husband pretty much. And of course, Brooke is like, she's using this situation to get in between me and my husband. And I'm like, again, no, Brooke. First of all, that little boy, that's their family. That's why they're all there. They're all connected. It's forced a family, seriously. But obviously, the more she digs her heels in, the more those two are going to get closer. And she's going to end up shooting herself in the foot. So we'll see. Well, in the meantime, Hope decided to go pay her dad a visit while Sheila's counting her cash. Hope shows up. It left us with this cliffhanger because she just walked in. And I'm like, do anybody lock their doors on the Bold and the Beautiful? But yeah, she's counting all her cash. And Hope is like, who are you? And so, of course, we didn't see Sheila turn around at this point, but it's going to be interesting to see, is Sheila going to have her mask on, or has she been busted by Hope? All right, so there you have it, your recap for The Bold and the Beautiful for Thursday, August 25th, 2022. Let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about this whole thing? I know you guys had a lot to say on my previous videos, so let me know. And also, if you haven't checked out the Young and the Restless recap for today, it is also uploaded to this channel. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.